So, it's going to be an amazing day. And we're going to have so many amazing speakers. And the Cyberweek is such an exciting time. I told you that yesterday. You meet so many interesting people. You hear so many new ideas. And the thing is that making new connections, I think, is the key for the future. Because we need to create a safer future. And we can only do that by collaborating, by working together. Countries from all around the world should work together. You know what? Because the people on the threat side, the criminals, and other threat actors, they are very good in working together. They share information, they share intelligence, they have joint projects. We are, the people on the security side, we have to be much better than they are. Now at this point, I want to talk about something specific. I want to talk about pseudo-privacy and deepfakes. And to some extent, I feel that this is one of the biggest challenges that we're going to see in the future. June 2013. This is the beginning of the era of privacy. We have started talking about digital privacy in June 2013 because this guy, Edward Snowden, revealed to the world that the NSA has secret projects, and as part of which they collect huge amount of information about people, about everyone. And they connect into social networks like Facebook and companies like Microsoft and Apple and others, and they take a lot of information about everyone worldwide. So we started talking about privacy, and everybody started talking about privacy, and obviously Edward Snowden revolutions created a lot of public criticism surrounding the United States government, specifically the NSA, but not just there, everywhere, every country in the world started talking about privacy, and that led to a lot of things. One of them is obviously what we see today, the GDPR. But that's just one example of how government started addressing this threat. Edward Snowden was the king of privacy. But now it's time to declare our new king. Someone that brought the new problem to the table. And surprisingly enough, this person is this guy. And amazingly enough, he's talking again and again about fake news. And what I want to tell to you today, the message I'm trying to convey today, and what I want to try and convince you is that fake news is a much bigger deal than you would imagine. And to do that, I want to talk about three elements. Three things that if we connect them together, we understand why fake news is such a big problem. Element number one deals with one of the biggest lies that our parents told us as kids. This is a big lie, and I'm sorry for doing that to you guys. Some of us still believe that. And the big lie is that we are very, very unique, and we are very, very special. But as time goes by, we discover again and again that people are very similar to one another. Different people. People that are considered to be very different. They come from different countries, they speak different languages, they have different skin color, different races, different genders, different ages, whatever it is. People that are considered to be very, very different in the same situation will behave exactly the same way. If our mind is some kind of a computer program, that means that the same input would lead to the same output. We all watch movies. The same movie is being played worldwide. People laugh at the same point, they get scared at the same point, and they're surprised at the same point. And the most amazing thing about this movie is that the person who wrote the script for this movie was sitting home alone, and he was writing the script, and he said, you know what? If it makes me laugh, it will probably make everyone else in the world laugh. He said, we are so similar to one another that I don't actually need to leave my house to know what will work and what will not work. We get to a new website, and this website asks us to declare a new password, to choose a new password. So we choose a new password. And then a week later, we discover that our password is one of the most common passwords in the world. It's not like humanity has met somewhere and we all decided on the same passwords. No, people sat home alone, and they thought, this is a creative password, and this is what I'm going to use. And then they discover that different people from all around the world use the same password. I will give you a task now. Choose two words. Choose two words that describe this room. Okay? Did you? Without knowing you guys, I can assure you that most of you, if not all of you, chose words that describe how this room looks like. Nobody talks about how this room sounds like, how it feels like, how it tastes like, how it smells like. We know that when you ask people to describe something, most of the time they will use their eyes. This is predictable. We're going to have a magic trick now. Now, if you know this magic, please don't ruin it to other people. And this magic begins with a set of cards. Now you have to choose your card. Make sure you remember the details of this card. If you have a card in mind, watch this. Your card has vanished. If your card has vanished, please raise your hand. Okay, so wow, magic. So obviously, smart people in this room, most of you already got this trick. None of those cards appear here. So whatever you have chosen got vanished. And that's exactly how magicians work. They know that we all think the same way. So when they take something out of their pocket and they look at it, this hand is free to do whatever they want. And the fact that our mind works in the same way is being exploited by many, everywhere, every store, every website. When you go to a restaurant and you have this menu, right? And people know, every restaurant owner knows that people will never order, or almost never order the most expensive dish in the menu. They will usually order the second and the third. This is why they decide the prices of the different dishes according to what is the dishes they want us to buy. So my number one point is that we have predictable cognitive biases. We all work in the same way, and we know how to predict that. Point number two is that privacy mining, the collection of more and more of our privacy mining is going to be a big issue in the years to come. Why? Because of small changes technology is going to go through that are going to have dramatic effect on our privacy. Number one, we're going to connect billions of new devices to the internet. Number two, those devices are going to be set to not always off like our cameras today. Our cameras today are always off unless we turn them on. Those devices are going to be always on. They are on unless we turn them off, like smart watches. If you have a smart watch, please raise your hand. So some people here, smart watches are always on devices. They are on unless we turn them off. And this is the way new devices are coming. That means that they will collect information all the time, even if we don't want them to do that. And they will collect new types of information because those new devices come with sensors. We do not use keyboards and screens to communicate with the computers. We're using other things like heartbeats, smells, heat, and other things as well. So we have those amazing devices. Now, this is a smart hairbrush. Now you can brush your hair and collect information on how good job you're doing, and you're going to have statistics on how can you improve, which is obviously a very brilliant company to build. This is a tray for eggs. Now, in real time, you can know how many eggs you have in your house. This is a smart toilet. Now you can have a competition between the house members who left the most information behind. And this is a smart watch that will collect information on how stressed you are, which is okay, but if you're too stressed, this watch will scream that you are too stressed and you need to relax, which is not exactly the way to make people relax. Yeah, and this is a smart condom that will collect information on how we act and will give us statistics on how to improve. This is actually great. So those devices are going to collect huge amount of information, and information that was not there before, and they will collect this information all the time. And we're going to add number 3 to the equation, which is deep fakes. I'm not sure if you saw this movie. Did you see this movie? Please raise your hand if you did. Okay, many liars in the audience. This is a porn movie in which Gal Gadot is playing, but it is not really Gal Gadot. This is a fake movie. They took Gal Gadot's face and put it on a porn star body. And the amazing thing about this movie is that you can almost never tell that this is not Gal Gadot. This is a very high quality movie. And the ability of technology to create movies today that look real, really, really real, and without us being able to distinguish between fake movies and real movies is a big, big issue. And this is just a demonstration. So this is face mapping. You have this guy moving his face, and they put the gestures of his face on Bush, right? And this is amazing. This is amazing. You have the same with this guy, which I think is even funnier. Okay, and you have the same with this guy, Nicolas Cage. I'm not sure if you knew that he was in Superman Returning. He actually played Lois Lane. I'm not sure if you know that. Well, obviously this is bad. We can see that this is Nicolas Cage, but some of those movies are amazingly good, and it's very hard for us to say that this is fake and not true. So let's connect everything with what we just talked about, those 3 elements. So we have the dark future of privacy. This is the equation of dark future of privacy. We're going to take cognitive biases. We're going to add to this intensive privacy mining, and we're going to add to this high-quality fake data, and we're going to get programmable people. That means that over infrastructures that we have today, over those platforms like Facebook and Google and other things that we are all connected to, we can build computer algorithms that will manipulate the way people think and will make us make decisions that otherwise we would never make. And the most amazing thing about psychological manipulation is that when you undergo one, most of the time you will not know that. And most of the time, you will argue that you made this decision because you wanted to make this decision and not because someone made you make this decision. And this is a very powerful tool, and this brings us to the dark future of privacy. Because we are already in the process of having algorithms that do psychological manipulations. You know, every time company sells ad, every time a company publishes something, they try to make us to buy something that otherwise we wouldn't buy. This is psychological manipulation. They try to find the best message, the best picture, the best colors, the best fonts, the best message, the best types of information to make us buy something that otherwise we wouldn't buy. But this is not the biggest problem, because now we have those cases where we have mass actions of psychological manipulation. And obviously, I'm talking about Cambridge Analytica. And this is just one example, because we've heard about this example. There are other examples that we didn't hear about. And if you look into Cambridge Analytica website, that's amazing. You will see the description is, Cambridge Analytica uses data to change audience behavior. And they have the commercial channel and they have the political channel. That means that if you hire Cambridge Analytica to help one person to win an election over another person, what they will do is that they will collect a lot of information about people who are about to vote. They will divide those people into several psychological types, and then they will try to devise what is the best way to change their mind. And they will show us information that will make us choose one person over the other. And we will never know. And this is a very interesting future, because if we have predictable psychological biases, if we have the ability to create information that looks real and it's not real, and if we have platforms that allow us to send this information directly to people, that means that we can control what people do worldwide, and it's already happening. So this is just one example, and it happened a few years back. This is a Twitter account of AP, and they had this tweet breaking: 2 explosions in the White House, and Barack Obama is injured. Are you familiar with this incident? Their Twitter account got hacked, and someone published this tweet. And this is fake information, obviously, in a place where you wouldn't expect to see fake information. And because of that, the Dow Jones went down. And this is a dramatic effect. This is in a few minutes, the Dow Jones lost about $136 billion. That's just to show you how severe is the impact that you can create if you put the right information, the right fake information in the right place. So where do we go from here? Trust is something that we can only create together. Our mind is not sophisticated enough to be able to differentiate between fake movies and not fake movies. With pictures, people already developed some kind of critical thinking. When we see a picture and it makes no sense to us, people think, you know what, this is Photoshop. We are there, most people. We don't need everyone, we just need a mass of people to declare this picture is fake. But with movies, we are not there yet, and it will take a lot of time to educate the world that movies that look real can actually be fake. And trust is the foundation for innovation. If we don't have trust, the world will not move forward. If people don't trust autonomous cars, they will not go into autonomous cars. That makes our job, cybersecurity people, very, very important, because we have to build trust. We have to create trusted future. So this is the message I wanted to convey today. And I want to say, make sure you develop critical thinking about everything you see on the internet. Thank you so much.